911, where is your emergency?
Yes, I'm on top of Wiley Oakley and we're on fire.
Because of the winds and the drought and then the fire coming in the park, I've called it a perfect firestorm.
Right now, my life is upside down, and it will be for some time to come.
If you weren't there, you didn't go up on the mountain, you have no clue. It was a living hell up there.
Evacuate, go up 321 towards Newport. Towards Food City? Yes, and just keep going.
It was unpredictable. No one knew that it was coming that direction.
Like spontaneous combustion, just went up in flames.
November 28th, 2016, it was the inferno of the century, a deadly firestorm that swept through Sevier County in East Tennessee.
1 year later, we're looking back on the stories of loss and recovery, showing you exactly what it was like that night. You'll also hear people expressing frustration and forgiveness.
We're sharing this story with you tonight, but unlike you've ever heard before, because we're not telling you this story, you're going to hear directly from the people who lived through it.
If you look at November 28th,
I just want to make sure you understand. We have a wall of fire coming down Reagan Drive, historic nature trail, multiple buildings.
you don't know what you don't know.
If you have units on Wiley Oakley Drive, they need to leave right now.
No one knew November 28th that this community was susceptible to such a widespread firestorm. Now that we know, what do we do now? There's no way that we can say, well, it's never happened here. Well, it has happened here. It happened here November 28th of 2016.
As we mentioned, Kristen, 14 people died in the wildfires. Many of them were longtime residents, but some were visitors.
You know, Don, we're also learning so much more about two of those victims because of an unlikely discovery months later here in the ashes.
John and Marilyn Tegler had a cabin in Chalet Village, Kristen, not far from where we're standing. For more than 30 years, the cabin was there. The couple was originally from Canada, and this was their home away from home.
Yeah, John is described as his son's hero, Marilyn, the quintessential mom. They would celebrate holidays and mark milestones here with friends and family. But the happy memories now stripped away, replaced instead with the horror of one night.
Grandma had made mention that the winds were picking up and it was becoming quite smoky.
Scott is the Teglers' oldest child. He says it was his own daughter who may have had the final conversation with his parents the afternoon of November 28th. Just hours after that phone call, scenes like this started to play out as people scrambled to make their way off the windy mountain roads above Gatlinburg. The last message from John and Marilyn was from their home in Chalet Village, just before 8 o'clock that night.
She said, it's getting smoky here, the sparks are hitting the house, we're packing up the animals and we're leaving.
Scott later learned his parents' car careened off Skyline Drive. They were able to get out of the car and walk several hundred feet, only to be found clutching each other and their dog in the middle of Wiley Oakley Road. It was nearly 3 days later before Scott got the call he feared.
The hardest part is being, from my perspective, is being on the other side of the coin of what I'm usually doing, right? And when he asked me to send about dental records, sending down dental records, that was probably I don't know if I'll ever forget that, because I knew what he was saying. I knew what he was saying.
As a fire chief, Scott says he knows the reality of his parents' final minutes, and it's a nightmare he says he can't stop reliving.
It is a toxic, bad atmosphere. You can't see 2 feet in front of your face.
It's also something he can't accept.
There's 14 people that we know of, in my opinion, should not be dead.
His grief is now turning into anger. And while crews in Chalet Village work tirelessly to try to bring back new life to the area, Scott says he cannot lose focus on all of those who were lost and getting answers for their families.
You start wondering why. Why did you, like, what was your reasoning for not doing this? And that's where a lot of this comes from. I want to, it's not about money. It's like people are held accountable.
But in the midst of the ashes, 4 months later, an unexpected discovery.
Just a little bit further out here is where the Tegler folks were found. The wallet was found over here.
A utility worker finding a charred, almost unrecognizable wallet just feet from the intersection where Scott's parents were found. Amazingly, the owner's name was still legible. So that worker gave the wallet to his friend Kim Pierce, who then tracked down Scott.
I didn't want to upset him, or, you know, when someone's dealing with grief, I was afraid this might, you know, make it worse on him.
But Scott says he could not be more grateful because this discovery is much more than just a wallet.
That's a piece of my living father, right? That was in his pocket. So frame it. Not frame it. Just so. Anyway, you know, it's it'll be nice to have. The one doesn't replace them, but it's yeah. I can't find the words right now. Sorry.
Pierce and Scott have become friends, and now she has vowed to continue to comb these mountains, looking for his mother's engagement ring as well. In the meantime, she made sure that wallet made its way back home, and we had another chance to talk to Scott after it arrived.
It's there. You can see it. I haven't taken it out of the plastic yet.
For a brief moment, it was you had a piece of your family back beside you.
WATE 6 on your side. News at 6 starts now.
Breaking news, Jeremy Pruitt coming to the Vols as head coach, landing in Knoxville with his son in his arms, ending weeks of waiting, arguing, and speculating who he is, how he fits into the future of the Orange and White Nation.
Right now, we're bringing you a live picture here inside Neyland Stadium. We're waiting to hear from Coach Pruitt. Our live team coverage of the start of a new era on Rocky Top continues right now at 6 o'clock.
Good evening. I'm Lori Tucker.
And I'm Ryan O'Donnell. Thanks for joining us here. We're about 6 minutes or so out from the formal introduction of Jeremy Pruitt as UT's new head football coach.
Yeah, the countdown is on, right? Yesterday, we told you he was the leading candidate. Last night, the deal was being finalized. This morning, the whole thing was confirmed with a news conference set to start at 6:05, just a few minutes from now.
Yeah, he's actually coming to us from Alabama. The Crimson Tide just confirming in the last half hour that Pruitt will stay on as defensive coordinator in the playoff. Again, they're in the playoffs. They're still playing football. We're going to bring you that news conference to you as soon as it starts, of course. Hopefully, let's see, we're kind of watching it as well here.
Yeah, we are.
And expect to hear from him. We're also expecting to hear from Athletic Director Philip Fulmer and Chancellor Beverly Davenport.
Now, we also have Bridget Bjorlo standing by with fan reaction because, boy, as you know, understatement, fans have been so vocal through this whole process. We also have analysis with John Pennington from the Sports Source. The university also tweeted this video of the Pruitt family meeting Athletics Director Fulmer with Ridge, one of Pruitt's sons, and Fulmer getting a little fist bump action in there. How cute is that? Now, we have been following Coach Pruitt's arrival throughout the day. You see him here in a picture posted by UT. Well, we saw it a little bit earlier, getting off the plane, carrying his son. Here is other video of him through the last few years.
Yeah, look at him. All right, Pruitt is UT's 26th head coach here. He's an Alabama native, a former high school coach, featured at one point on the football-focused MTV reality show 2-A-Days. His father, Dale, has coached high school football for more than 30 years. Nick Saban picked Pruitt to be an assistant coach at Alabama from 2007 to 2012. From there, he went on to become defensive coordinator at Florida State.
Now before, he took the same position over at Georgia. Then after that, he returned to Alabama, where he's been defensive coordinator since 2016.
Now, as for the Vols, as you know, it's been tough going back to a dismal season for previous coach Butch Jones, fired after Missouri hung 50 points on the Vols. UT seemed on the verge of bringing Greg Schiano to town. That deal falling apart with a mini revolt in the Orange and White Nation. Vocal fans feeling Schiano was tainted by his time at Penn State and the Jerry Sandusky scandal. Then one coach after another said no to the job. Fire Butch turned to fire John Currie, and the athletics director was out, replaced with former coach Phil Fulmer, making this hire his 6th day on the job.
And tonight, after so much turmoil, the message on the rock reading, "Welcome to Rocky Top, Coach Pruitt." Very cool, right?
Finally,
everybody's exciting. I know. All right. In fact, we do want to get some reaction from the Orange and White Nation there. Bridget Biorlo joining us now live from campus.
Hey, Bridget, you've also been talking with fans off campus as well. So what's the feeling you're getting from them about Jeremy Pruitt?
Well, I can tell you that unlike the reaction to Greg Schiano, fans are fairly positive about the hiring of Jeremy Pruitt. They tell me he brings a lot to the table in terms of experience, pointing to his track record as defensive coordinator and as a recruiter. But even more than that, they tell me he brings excitement and hope to a program that could use it right now. As we've been telling you, he comes to Tennessee from the University of Alabama, and fans in Tennessee say they are eager to steal him away from their Alabama rival. They're also pretty excited about his defensive experience, and they're hopeful that under his leadership, he can help transform Tennessee and bring them back to being that defensive powerhouse they've been in the past. They also hope that he will be successful in recruiting those star players to Rocky Top. But despite all the hope in the air surrounding his hire, there still remains this cautious optimism about his ability to transform the program. Take a listen.
I think that people put their trust in Philip Fulmer. I think that makes people feel a little better. If he says Jeremy Pruitt's the guy, then I'm with him, 100%.
We'll have to wait and see. If he's good in recruiting, and that's where we need some help in recruiting, because Tennessee has the capabilities, the facilities to have a winning season. We just need someone to be the leader to pull it all together.
Now, I'm also hearing from fans tonight that beyond Pruitt's coaching abilities, they're really hopeful about his ability to be a role model. His character and integrity came up a bunch during my interviews with fans, and they feel very confident that he will represent not only the team well, but also the university at large. So there's a lot of excitement here tonight. Back to you, Bo and Ryan.
All right, thank you so much, Bridget. And as we wait for the news conference to start, let's go ahead, get some analysis of this.
Yeah, the 6 on Your Side sports team's Mark Whiteman is joining us here, along with John Pennington of the Sports Source. Guys, what do you think of this move?
Yeah, 25 days is a grind of a coaching search, but Tennessee finally got their guy in the last 6 days, much smoother than all the weeks preceding it. Host of the Sports Source, John Pennington, in the studio with me. John, prior head coaching experience no longer seems like a requisite for a successful champion-winning coach. Coach Fulmer obviously had his guy in mind, tough, physical, run the ball, play defense. That being said, do we think Jeremy Pruitt is the right fit?
I do like the fit. On paper, I think it's a good one when you consider what Tennessee has been through. I think this is about as good a hire as you could have made. Philip Fulmer reached out to some bigger names, some head coaches who are seated head coaches, and they weren't interested. So when you fall back into the coordinator range, as Mark pointed out, you can have guys like Mark Richt who can have long, successful careers, Bob Stoops, Dabo Swinney, on and on. It can be a win, and I do like the fit of it. None of these hires are guaranteed, whether you get a seated head coach, John Gruden, or a coordinator, but it does feel like a Tennessee hire to me.
We wanted $25,000. That was way too low. Lori, you got an update for us that's pretty amazing.
4 o'clock. Yes, we set a new challenge for East Tennessee at $40,000. Let's see where we are right now, everyone. $36,194. How about that?
Oh, man.
How about that? We're almost there. It's so close. We're so close.
We've got some work to do. There's somebody out there that can fill that gap. We can fill with $3,000, $4,000 is what we need by the next hour. We can do that.
A business owner,
we can do that.
Who, obviously supports what the Honor Guard is doing, and I don't know who doesn't.
Right.
With us now is James Harold, who had a long, illustrious career with the Marine Corps. You're here today.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what this effort means to you.
Oh my, my last first to say, when Kobe told me about this event.
Kobe Cooper, our general manager.
Yes, I immediately said I needed I wanted to get involved. I really want to get involved. I already thought this was really a great thing, you know, that WAT was going to do for the honor guards. And I'm just absolutely so pleased to be part of it. I really am.
Well, we admire you for your strength and your energy. You have been out there all day in your dress uniform collecting donations, and we really, really appreciate it. We're almost to that $40,000 goal. You think we're gonna make it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You heard it from a Marine. All right.
And he's been working his voice. He's been out here on Broadway collecting donations all afternoon.
Yes.
So we appreciate your service, sir.
Thank you very much.
This isn't the only location. We're down on Kingston Pike, so let's check it out. Aaron and Don are down there. Hopefully some good news from those folks as well.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, we sure do have some good news. You know, Aaron, I heard them talking about appreciation. Matt said it and Lori said it, and we heard a lot of that today as people came up to the Honor Guard.
Absolutely, and one of our Honor Guard members joining us now to talk more about that. This is Tony Joyce, the United States Marine Corps Sergeant. Thank you so much for joining us, and tell us a little bit about what it has been like for you to face see these donations coming in.
People are very grateful. They say, this is for my father, this is for my brother. Thank you very much. We've had some that said 2 husbands that we did the ceremonies for.
Wow. Very emotional too.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your service and for standing out here all day and helping out with this as well. That's what it's all about, gratitude and saying thank you.
Yeah, and you know, there's only 2 groups here in East Tennessee that do it. 450 funerals, no cost, and Operation Honor Guard is certainly going to go a long way to help them.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to send things back to Bridget and Ryan. We'll be here till 7 o'clock, guys.
All right, fantastic, guys. Thanks a lot. A lot of hard work out there.
And you still have, what, about 15, 20 minutes still left to donate. We really want to get to $40,000. That's the new goal. Well, we love to work with these volunteers, and we definitely appreciate your support.
Yeah, as Bridget just mentioned, you still have time here to help out. You've got all the way up until 7 o'clock. You can go to either of those Rose Mortuary locations, the one on Kingston Pike or North Broadway. Again, they'll be there till 7.
You know, it was a month ago on October the 11th, thanks to your generosity, that lots of money was contributed to Operation Honor Guard. Operation Honor Guard is a national organization that provides assistance to Honor Guard groups around the country, and we have 2 Honor Guard associations here in East Tennessee. The East Tennessee Veterans Honor Guard, and some of these men are behind me, and the Volunteer State Honor Guard. And right now with me is Rich Darby. He is the founder of Operation Honor Guard, based in Illinois, and you have a special presentation for these men, Rich.
Yes, I do, Dave. On behalf of Operation Honor Guard, WATE, Rose Mortuary, East Tennessee Chevy Dealers, CertaPro Painters, the Iron Workers of Local 384, Carson Newman University, Pilot Flying J Centers, all the viewers of the Knoxville area who had come out and contributed to support the Honor Guards. We have a check for $43,063.11. I am honored and proud on behalf of the Knoxville region to donate this to you.
You know, there are 450 ceremonies conducted every year by the gentleman behind us, and how will this money be used?
It will go towards uniforms, flags. It will help on providing transportation, help with the vehicles that they ride in, and it is much needed. This is just the tip of the iceberg, Knoxville. We're talking about coming back again next year because this is an ongoing campaign that we need to support these gentlemen each and every year.
And this will go a long way, won't it?
Oh, this is unbelievable. For the first year to come down to Knoxville, I am so proud. I'm so proud of what the community at large has done and how to support these gentlemen. If you spend some time with these guys, they are great guys.
And if you're not familiar with the Honor Guard, every veteran who passes away is eligible to have an Honor Guard come and perform at their funeral. And this is one way of giving back.
Amen. Yes, this is, we need to do this. These ladies and gentlemen are available 7 days a week to help, honor the fallen veterans. And so by showing support and giving back, we help them ensure that they're going to be there each and every year.
Rich, thank you for what you do, and thank you, gentlemen, for what you do. And I know all of the families really appreciate having an Honor Guard perform at their ceremony.
Back to you.
A father sharing his story tonight, telling us he wants action taken in the wake of his daughter's death.
Yeah, adding to this tragic situation, he actually received, get this, a bill from the state for the object that killed her. Now, we have told you about Hannah Heimers. She was only 17 when she was killed back in November in a wreck along I-17 in McMinn County.
Her car went off the road and hit a guardrail, the guardrail going through her car, pushing Hannah into the back seat. WATE 6 on Your Side reporter Laura Holm has been investigating why her father wants a statewide review to focus on one part of those guardrails.
She was always up to some kind of project.
She's creative, funny.
And it's not fair the Eimers are having to remember their Hannah.
Hannah died living.
It was an accident with a guardrail back in November that's still haunting them in so many ways.
They sent my daughter a bill for almost $3,000 for the device that killed her. I was just flabbergasted. I mean, the audacity.
That letter has gone unanswered, but the family is hoping their many questions to TDOT and lawmakers don't.
Leaving the roadway, regardless of why you leave the roadway, should not be a capital offense, punishable by death.
Along our interstates, TDOT uses a variety of guardrail and terminals. This diagram shows the guardrail going into Hannah's car.
The problem is that the more that I look at this problem, the more I see.
2 of the guardrail systems have been removed from TDOT's qualified product list, meaning they're not bought anymore. The ET Plus system, taken off in October of 2014 after the federal government told the company more crash testing was needed. The X-Lite terminal was removed October 25th, 2016, 6 days before Hannah died. TDOT saying it was because they had concerns about long-term performance issues.
That is playing Russian roulette with the lives of Tennessee citizens.
Currently, there are 358 X-Lite and 21,094 ET Plus terminals installed across the state. TDOT telling me that kind of equipment is only replaced if it's damaged. Stephen Eimers has an idea of which kind of guardrail took his Hannah, and so he's calling for change from lawmakers.
If we put all the best devices in the world out there, but they don't install them properly or maintain them properly, we will continue to see unnecessary deaths.
He's proposing a risk-based assessment, similar to what other states are doing right now.
My first desire would be to see both those devices come off the roads at the most dangerous points, the points where we're likely to see a penetrating accident.
This is a project that will take time and consideration by lawmakers. There's also a sense Hannah would be proud of what her father's working on, perhaps saving another family from this kind of pain.
They will act. The question is, when?
And Laura Holm joining us now live from the newsroom.
So, Laura, you've been speaking with representatives with TDOT all day. I've heard you on the phone all day. What have you learned about this letter, this bill that they sent?
Well, TDOT says it was a mistake to send it to the Eimers family, and they apologize greatly for this kind of error. Generally, when there is a fatal accident, a letter or bill like that is not supposed to be sent out. I'm told a different letter is going out to them, letting the family know they do not have to pay the state $3,000. And it's important to note, I did reach out to both companies of the guardrail terminals, no longer purchased by TDOT. I haven't heard back from them yet. But again, TDOT uses a number of different guardrail and terminals on our interstates. Lori, Ryan?
All right, Laura, thank you very much for that. TDOT also telling us damage to a guardrail can be reported by the Department of Safety, local law enforcement, and any drivers out there. They say replacing the equipment happens basically as soon as possible once the damage is reported.
But, you know, we're told timing can vary depending on how many repairs are needed at that point, along with other factors.
Well, controversy surrounding a Union County boy's message about anti-bullying.
His mother now responding to criticism over pictures and posts she had on social media.
Her Facebook account that posted the video is now set to private. This after photos were found of her children holding a Confederate flag. You see the picture here. Kimberly Jones says the picture is real, but it's not racist. She's now hoping people can separate her son from her actions.
It was meant to be
ironic and funny and extreme. I am genuinely, truly sorry. If I could take it back, I would. They want to hate me, and whatever, that's fine, but still talk to your kids. Talk to your kids, because this is an epidemic.
Now, social media also fueling questions about a fundraising effort for the Jones family.
Yeah, it comes after an MMA fighter accused Keaton's mother of using the situation for financial gain.
The GoFundMe account in question is called Stand Up for Keaton. It was set up by a man in New Jersey and raised more than $56,000. That account and Keaton's story caught Joe Schilling's attention. He says he reached out to Keaton's mom but ended up feeling duped.
She just wants me to share her GoFundMe account, and I asked what the GoFundMe account for. What is it for? And she said, oh, well, you know, Christmas is coming and I'm a single mother and blah, blah, blah. Money's tight, whatever. That's not, you make your own judgment on that, but sad.
Now, Keaton's sister tweeted Schilling had a conversation with someone posing as her mother, saying that account is, quote, not my mom. She has a private Instagram and hasn't talked to anyone. We haven't received any money and don't plan on it. The GoFundMes aren't by any of us. Now, the man who created the GoFundMe says, quote, I can't even say for sure that any of what's being said is true. I don't know the family personally and never claimed to have known them. This is about a kid who's been bullied, and not just one kid. Keaton, there are many unspoken cases about kids being bullied. We have to be the voice for the voiceless. Now, he went on to say that he hopes to establish a college fund for Keaton and donate the rest to other children who have been victims of bullying. There's also a link for anyone who wants a refund. We should point out Joe Schilling's Instagram video and posts about the Jones family have since been deleted. Many now calling on the boxer to apologize or retract his statements. We'll, of course, keep following the story for you and let you know of any updates.
Separated by metal fencing and Knoxville police officers, pro-monument protesters were on the other side of the street, the same spot as the Fort Sanders Confederate Monument. Pro-monument protesters each here for a reason, many saying they came to protect history.
I'm here to preserve our history, not to hate, not anything like that.
Preserving our history is all it's about, and with me.
Counter-protesters held signs condemning things like racism and hate, some even calling these pro-monument protesters racist. So I asked some on this side of the street if they see themselves the same way.
For people that say you're a racist, what is your response to that?
Oh, I'm not. I mean, I have African American friends, I have Mexican friends, I have friends of all races. I'm not. And none of them hate me or anything. None of them call me that to my face or anything, so I don't see where it comes from.
The other side, there's nothing over there that we disagree with. No one wants the KKK. No one is white supremacist. There's none of that. It's just citizens supporting the monument.
Why didn't the park fight the chimney tops to fire more aggressively, especially at the beginning?
Well, one of the things that we look at when based on where the point of origin is what's the safety to the firefighters. And so if you've ever, and I'm sure you've been to the chimney tops, it's a very, very steep, rocky area. And so based on that and not putting firefighters at great risk, we want to make sure that we can fight this incident safely and effectively. And so in wildland fire, there are two ways that you can do it. It can be directly or it can be an indirect attack. And so we chose the indirect attack because based on the best available information we had, that fire was backing down that ridge top, and that would have allowed us to more effectively get it, to be more aggressive toward it, but also do it in a safe and effective manner.
Were some lessons learned from the way it was fought?
Oh, absolutely. Again, we can't have a hindsight bias. Yep. Each fire is like a fingerprint. Each one are different, and based on the terrain, the wind, and the origin of it, we'll have to look at that. Every time we'll look at it differently.
That 24 years is a record.
Yes, it is incredible, Lori and Kristen. This is the longest frozen embryo to successfully come to birth. The National Embryo Donation Center, which is here in Knoxville, transferred that embryo back in March. The family found out the procedure was a success, and not long after, the Gibson family welcomed baby Emma Wren this November. So I sat down with the new parents today who say they really never imagined just how remarkable their story would turn out to be. The best gift this Christmas isn't under the tree for Tina and Benjamin Gibson. They're holding her in their arms, their new baby girl, Emma Wren.
Seriously, in the middle of the night, we'll wake up and just look at her and we're like, can you believe it? Like, she's really ours.
It still seems so surreal for this young couple who faced infertility for several years.
I never thought that I'd be able, to have a pregnancy and to have a baby. Like, oh my gosh, like such a miracle, such a sweet, sweet miracle.
At one time, they had considered traditional adoption, but decided to try frozen embryo transfer. With the hopes of becoming parents, they went through the process at the National Embryo Donation Center in Knoxville, not knowing the embryo they had chosen was frozen for more than 2 decades. Meaning Tina, who was just 26 years old, was carrying an embryo conceived just 1.5 years after her own birth.
If this embryo was born when it was supposed to be, like, we could have been best friends. I was like, we could have been friends. And he just thought that was so funny. So that's been like the going joke. And I mean, it's just so crazy.
Preserved all those years here at the National Embryo Donation Center, Carol Sommerfeld, the lab director, says seeing the record-setting embryo result in a successful birth has proven technology and advancements over the years have worked.
I see miracles happen every day.
On average, transferring 120 to 150 embryos a year, this one was the oldest. But the Gibsons say they don't think for 1 second it was all a coincidence.
I think it's just proof, it's such a God thing, so like such a miracle that, this, I think she was chosen for us. Just perfect. I don't think we chose her. I think she was chosen for us.
Saying they believe this process was all part of the plan, leading right to the perfect embryo, now their daughter.
It's just a pure blessing from the Lord, straight from God.
It's nothing we did at all.
And what's even more amazing, that there are 2 other embryos from that same set little Emma was born from. So if the Gibsons ever decide to have more children in the future, they would actually be, the siblings would be twins, and there would be a new record set.
August 21st, 2017, millions of people across the country admiring one of nature's most spectacular shows.
And East Tennessee is a prime location.
You're watching the Great American Eclipse from WATE 6 on your side.
All right, welcome back live to Sweetwater. We've got this cutie group of girls from Webb School looking up, of course, being safe first with their solar glasses. We're going to talk to them in a minute, but we want to show everyone at home.
Yeah, take a look at what we're seeing here, what they are seeing through those glasses as you look up into the sky here. And again, the moon starting to make its way. You see the crescent of the sun, something that we normally don't see. We think of the moon.
That's right. It's such an
situations.
unusual shot. Hey, ladies, slide in here. You can take your glasses off for a minute. We talked to you this morning on Good Morning Tennessee. What do you guys think of it now that it's actually happening?
I think it's pretty amazing because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us.
It really is. And is it as cool as you thought it would be?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And what is your favorite part so far?
Being able to see the moon go over the sun.
All right.
How about you? Did you ever think this moment would get here?
Yes.
You did? You knew it was coming, right?
Yes.
Are you excited when the moon completely now covers the sun coming up here in a little bit?
Yeah, my glasses are going to glow.
Your glasses?
Oh,
these are glow-in-the-dark glasses? Oh, we're going to have to look for that
Oh,
then.
that is super cool. Ladies, thanks for stopping by again and joining us. You bring smiles to our faces. We appreciate it.
Just saw it kind of darken a little bit more. It's almost like every once in a while someone just kind of turns down the light a little bit and it gets a little bit darker. So here we go.
This is amazing. Let's see what the time is right now.
There it goes.
Yep. Here we go. Watch this. You can hear the reaction.
The professor told us this would happen.
That's right.
Look at it.
Keep watching. I'm looking for that diamond ring, you
We're
guys.
watching for the diamond ring effect, Bailey's beads as well.
Look at that, look at that, look at that.
Look at this.
This is amazing.
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime.
Right here in Sweetwater, Tennessee.
Oh, they're counting down.
Feel the temperature.
Seconds away.
Oh boy.
Look at that.
There it goes.
That's the diamond ring.
Not much left, yeah.
You can take your glasses off.
Yeah, there you go.
Take your glasses off.
Look at that now. Wow.
That is incredible.
And look at this. We've got cirrus clouds in the sky that are even making it more dramatic. It's the light from the sun is bleeding through those ice crystals up there. This is awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. It looks like the sun has set on the horizon, but look at that corona.
Absolutely
look at that sun's
amazing.
Corona. Wow.
Scientists waiting for this moment so they can learn more about the corona. They've been waiting.
Klingman's Dome, they've been waiting for this moment.
When her mother died in January, Debbie Early lost her best friend and caregiver. Debbie has been disabled since childhood, unable to work. She was shocked to learn that the mortgage to her mom's home was not covered by insurance, as she first believed. A small life insurance policy paid for her mother's burial and paid off her credit card debts, but Debbie's disability was not enough to pay the house loan that she would now assume. One thing about Debbie, as you'll see, she is a woman of faith, and she says her prayers were answered.
Fine, how are you?
Debbie Early never knew she had so many friends.
Good to see you, girl. Good to see you, too.
4 of Debbie's high school classmates visited not only to say hello, but to tell her not to worry again about mortgage payments. $6,000 is the mortgage on your home. Last month, Debbie showed us this notice for $6,000 from her mother's home loan company. Debbie has cerebral palsy and now lives alone in the house where she grew up. Her dad died years ago. Before her mother passed away in January, Effie Early, she had been Debbie's caregiver, believed insurance on her mortgage would pay off the mobile home she shared with her daughter.
My house is mortgaged through City Financial.
In this letter from 2015, Mrs. Early wrote, insurance would pay the mortgage. Her daughter wouldn't have to worry. But she does. Debbie receives $903 a month in disability. The mortgage is $522 a month. She called City Financial's mortgage department.
They eventually told me that there was no insurance. There have never been no insurance, and I owe the money.
In our story last month, Debbie said she was afraid she'd lose her home.
I shared your story on my Facebook page. Lots of people, Cecil, other friends shared it.
Clinton High School classmate Cecil Scarborough set up a GoFundMe account in Debbie's name. A second account was set up at SunTrust Bank in Clinton.
It went very well. Within the minutes of Cecil posting that, classmates from all around were giving you donations to help you keep your pretty little home.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was worried about losing it.
No, you're not going to, baby.
Donations to save the house were given by 1987 Clinton High School graduates who live locally and across the country.
It was really sad, her losing her mom and then afraid of losing her house. And just thought, hey, we need to do something.
We're fortunate we're going to be able to pay off her mortgage so she doesn't have to worry about losing her home, her land that her family's had for 30 years.
Before Debbie's classmates started their fund drive, there were some anxious moments for her.
You were worried there for a while.
Yeah, I was. I did a lot of crying and praying, and the Lord helped me.
Her entire mortgage is paid off now, thanks to you and other classmates.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal feeling. I mean, our class of 87 and the classes a couple years above and below, I mean, we're just a really tight group.
A group of people who truly know what friendship means.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, all of my classmates and anybody that donated. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Many of you called wanting to help Debbie. Quite a few of our viewers, people who didn't know her, contributed to Debbie's fund at the Clinton SunTrust Bank. We're told there will be money left over, that it will be carefully managed and used to pay her future property taxes. And Ryan and Kristen, Debbie is truly grateful tonight.
WATE 6 on your side. News at 6 starts now.
There it goes. Not much left. Yeah. You can take your glasses off. Yeah. There you go. Look at that now.
Wow. Right now at 6, parts of East Tennessee under a total solar eclipse today. Moments we've all been waiting for. How the town of Sweetwater is remembering this once-in-a-lifetime moment.
And one man won't be forgetting this anytime soon. We're taking a closer look at how transforming his house helped him get the most out of today's eclipse.
And NASA scientists making their way to the Great Smoky Mountains to study the eclipse. We're finding out more about their research right now at 6. Good evening, I'm Lori Tucker.
And I'm Ryan O'Donnell. Thanks for joining us on this amazing day here. August 21st, finally, is here. And the total solar eclipse here covering our sky here in East Tennessee.
Such an exciting day.
Awesome,
Millions of people flocking to the volunteer state to watch this once-in-a-lifetime event. Our crews have been scattered across the area, getting a first-hand look at how people experience this big event.
But first, we want to start out with WATE 6 on your side anchors Bo Williams and Kristen Farley. They're down in Sweetwater, where it's been a day that certainly nobody will forget down there, huh, guys?
Oh, we definitely won't forget it. That is for sure. And everybody that was here.
I know, we could not hear enough positive feedback from everyone who was here. And of course, the view with this visibility was just spectacular today.
Could not have asked for anything better. And yeah, we had people from all over the country. Been watching the cars kind of slowly file through downtown Sweetwater. We've seen Ohio, New York State, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, as they all make their way now back out of town.
Yeah, we had a Canadian friend here through most of our broadcast earlier today. So definitely people coming really from all over here to Sweetwater, Tennessee, and I don't think it disappointed at all.
Oh, not at all. He seemed very, yeah, he was from Quebec.
Yes,
exactly. Hey, but I tell you what, you know, a lot of people going all out, getting ready for this, planning way ahead, whether it was just booking a hotel way in advance or trying to put something together on the day of to watch or transforming your home.
Yes. Laura Holm talked with one Lenore City man who went above and beyond.
They scratched their names, grabbed a snack, and jumped in on a science lesson.
They're still around?
Still around.
This is not your neighbor's backyard. This is Vicente Diaz's observatory, Nightfall. Today, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 telescopes out.
I haven't seen an eclipse before. I'm really excited.
Friends of his from all over coming to watch the moon pass by the sun.
People here are very enthusiastic with this kind of things. I'm really excited to be here too.
Hours were spent looking up, snapping photos, and watching the sun change in this handmade telescope filter.
It was really cool. I didn't even know what it would look like. I thought the sun would just get blurred or something, but it's more like something's taking a bite out of it slowly.
During this party, Diaz letting all of us know the moon was traveling around 1,500 miles per hour. And then
I'm getting goosebumps.
the light shifted here in Lenore City.
It was so beautiful. You could see the corona, you could see the planets. We were able to see Jupiter on the east and Venus on the west.
Well, from the time when the moon first made contact with the sun all the way through to when it was blocking it, Mr. Diaz was taking notes on how the environment was changing. You can see right here the temp at 12:55 was 102 degrees inside his observatory, and during the solar eclipse it dropped down to 85 degrees.
Those minutes and 45 seconds or 50 seconds or whatever were the fastest 2 minutes in my life.
And one person in particular already making plans for the next solar eclipse in 2024.
But that one is the totality. If you're close to the center line, it's going to be 4 minutes.
Will we find Mr. Diaz there?
Absolutely.
In Lenore City, Laura Holm, WATE 6 on your side.
We heard that from so many people saying, hey, are you going to try to make sure you find a path somewhere along the path in 2024? And they were like, absolutely. After this, I'm hooked.
But will he rent a house and then rebuild that observatory? I don't know.
Remains to be unseen. Yes. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll have to stay in touch with him over the next 7 years, right?
All right, everyone. Of course, we've been right here on Main Street all throughout the day here in Sweetwater, but all across this area and just outside of Sweetwater in the KOA campground, they've been pretty busy as well.
That's right. Our own Kelly Rinke joins us now live with more. Hey, Kelly.
Hey guys, well, I'm so happy that we made the trip out here because people wanted to get away from the crowds. They wanted a quieter experience to see that spectacular view. Well, people planning years in advance, and they say that plan ahead and the trip out here to Sweetwater, Tennessee was definitely worth it.
This is a frequent sound at the KOA campground in Sweetwater.
It's literally been ringing off the hook.
Kathy Allen is the owner, getting hundreds of calls a day this weekend from people hoping to snag a campsite.
By the beginning of January, the park was completely full.
More than 300 of them here. Picking Sweetwater as their eclipse destination, Tara traveled from Georgia with her 2 kids. Coming to the campground to stay away from the crowds.
There's just so many people downtown.
Some planning this trip 2 years ago for an experience that lasts less than 3 minutes.
This is a wide-angle lens.
Eric Bender coming prepared from Maryland. For him, Sweetwater was the place to be.
Sweetwater, Tennessee was a little bit away from maximum duration, but the proximity to the interstate and the ability of in and out, plus it was a nice little town.
And the clear skies also making Sweetwater a prime destination. Families just getting to enjoy the ride.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for us and maybe a twice-in-a-lifetime experience for them later in their life.
The anticipation of the great American eclipse building throughout the afternoon.
I am like the most excited person in the entire multiverse.
You know, they say some weird things happen and come out when the solar eclipse occurs. Look who I just found. Bigfoot, how do you feel about the solar eclipse?
Others were a little bit more vocal about their excitement.
Oh, this is spectacular.
Dawn's been waiting for this moment for almost 50 years, and then
30 seconds.
It finally came. Darkness falls on Sweetwater.
Bingo! Oh, that is so cool.
A once-in-a-lifetime view Dawn and millions of others will never forget.
That was spectacular.
I think besides actually seeing the eclipse, watching people's reactions was one of my favorite moments. But also speaking to the people here at the office, it sounds like the weather was a big decision factor in people deciding where they wanted to go. And we were so lucky that we had such clear skies here. And what a perfect day. We couldn't have asked for one better. Guys, back to you.
All right, Kelly, couldn't agree more. You know, I'm kind of surprised that Sasquatch was so quiet.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised he showed.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
Usually he's pretty secretive.
Who would have known? All right, let's find out more about what's going on with your forecast. I'm going to bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Hinken right now. Matt, beautiful conditions for today's eclipse.
I feel like I passed the final exam.
You got an A+.
You did, A+, my friend.
It was a team effort with the storm team, but yeah, this big event, you wanted the weather to work out, and it just worked out better than I believed it would. We even had more sunshine than we thought, but it turned out to be beautiful, and we're still very warm. We're clear right now, and tonight's going to be a great night. Temperature right now is 84 as you go down to Sweetwater, and it's near 90 across the board north of us. But this time-lapse video from Fairfield Glade, I believe, tells the story. It's neat. The time-lapse videos show how it got dark and how it got light real quick, and that's kind of neat. So we got two night times in the same day? That's, I guess, what we can call it. Just a quick short one there. But now things are going to start progressing after we get through tonight and tomorrow to bring temperatures that are in the mid to upper 80s right now. I'm probably looking at rain chances increasing. Not so much tonight, probably late Tuesday night, Wednesday time frame. So we've got an updated 6 timeline, an updated 7-day forecast, which takes you to the rest of the week, and I'll get you that coming up in just a minute live.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Matt. All right, appreciate it.
All right, you know, this was definitely a day for kids of all ages. We have seen anyone and everyone out here, but our own Aaron Barnett had a chance to spend some time with some school-age children.
That's right, at Oak Ridge City Schools, obviously back in today. They were taking the kids through taking them outside, giving them a first-hand view of what to expect and kind of what to learn from all of this. Let's check in right now with Erin. She's live now in Oak Ridge with more.
Yeah, we've wrapped up a wonderful day here at Willowbrook Elementary School. The students here had a day full of solar eclipse lessons, and the teachers tell me it really is an awesome educational opportunity for them because it's not often they get to teach the students about something and then witness it together.
Listen to how you can hear me all the way to Pluto.
In the hallways and in every classroom,
You're going to be seeing some things that you've never seen before in your life.
the lesson plans all focused on one subject today at Willowbrook Elementary School, the Great American Solar Eclipse, capturing the attention of even the youngest students.
The moon is going to cut through the sun and it will make it blank. Then we can tilt our glasses down for 34 seconds, but then we have to put them back on.
And from safety lessons on viewing the eclipse to experiments and crafts, teachers did all they could to make the day fun and educational.
We're making sun cookies, so they're very excited about eating the cookies, but I'm not letting them eat until they talk about prominences and photosphere and sunspots.
The school also inviting students' families to join. Jessica Hill has 4 children at the school and couldn't imagine a better way to take it all in.
This is more than just a day of book learning. It's all about the hands-on experience. Each of the grade levels and each of the teachers is doing something unique and different, and they are really getting the chance to learn about the eclipse and what it means.
And when the time came for the eclipse, students filed outside and families gathered anxiously, waiting for 32 seconds of totality. An experience and reaction that could be heard from the grandparents all the way down to the kindergarten students.
I just got glory bumps all over me when it happened. I wanted to cry. I was going through all kind of emotions.
I saw the corona while it was coming, while the moon was covered in the totality.
I saw the moon passing the sun, and it went to totality, and and you can't see that often. So we are very lucky to see that.
I don't think there's any better reaction than that of a child. We had so much fun here today. And other schools here in Oak Ridge weren't in the path of totality. So some of the other schools in the district did have to take their kids to other locations so they could experience it as well. Live in Oak Ridge, Erin Barnett, WATE 6 on your side.
All right, thank you, Erin. Boy, I love some of the reaction from the kids.
Yeah, sounds like they just had an absolutely perfect day out there.
And it sounded like they were paying attention, too, for the build-up. I mean, they got a lot of knowledge. I mean, that knowledge stuck with them.
You can tell it did. I think for years to come, they will remember this day. You know, so will people out in Blount County as well.
That's right, our own Bridget Biorlo out of the Pellissippi State Campus in Blount County. She joins us now more from Maryville. Hey, Bridget.
Hey, Bo and Kristen. Well, it might not look like it now. It's a fairly quiet scene behind me, but just a couple of hours ago, nearly 2,000 people were joined with their families soaking up the total solar eclipse of the sun. We had a great opportunity here with just under 2 minutes of totality. We were all looking up at the sun like this, and if your eyes didn't tell you you were in totality, your ears most definitely did, because people were just roaring with screams of joy and clapping with excitement. It was a truly unforgettable moment there. We did capture some images for you, so take a look at your screen right now. People, as you can see there, were just leaning back in their lawn chairs, gazing up toward the sun. As mentioned, the weather couldn't have been better. Wonderful visibility, clear skies. We even got to see that diamond ring effect that we spoke so much of as the sun peeked through the moon there. What a unbelievable sight there. Everyone here was just in awe of capturing this moment and being here to witness such a historical event. There was so much anticipation for the eclipse, but people say it definitely surpassed all expectations.
That it was just, it changed so fast, and then it was gone, and then it just came back real slow. It was just beautiful.
Oh, it was incredible. You know, we saw everything get dark and the temperature dropped a little bit, and it was just really cool. And then all of a sudden it was over and it was just back to normal.
Everyone telling me that this moment will certainly last a lifetime in memory. Leading up to the eclipse, there were also a number of family events in store, including some live bluegrass music, which was absolutely phenomenal, as well as a walkable solar system for the kids. Great stuff there. Live in Maryville, Bridget Gorlow, WATE 6 on your side. Bo, Kristen.
All right, Bridget, thank you so very much. You know, the diamond ring effect that Bridget was talking about, did not expect for that to be so absolutely amazing. It was one of my favorite things as well.
Oh, no doubt about it. I think it speechless
Yes.
when we saw it. Hey, you know, NASA was in our area, Klingman's Dome.
Right.
Yeah.
Our own Amanda Ketchledge was up there. She's going to have a little bit more on what they were hoping to learn from today and what they were studying. We're going to have that coming up in just a few minutes.
And how about the forecast?
Hey, we're looking for sunshine at least part of the day tomorrow. Things start to change midweek. I'll be back with the details coming up. Hey everybody, welcome back. We've got semi-tractor trailers going this way. We've got the train that just went through in Sweetwater. The wind's blowing all over the place, so hopefully you can hear me okay, but yeah, that'll be a wake you up quick while. Wow, it turned out to be a beautiful afternoon. Hope you've had a good day, and so cold, feels great with this ice around here. Stayed hydrated, and you got one more day of this sticky stuff before things start to change just a little bit. Let's check it outside right now. What we can expect right now is partly cloudy skies, and over the next 6 hours we go from 89 to 86, and then we'll see those temperatures drop. Not too bad. 80 by the time we get to 10 o'clock, and 76 by the time we get to the midnight hour. Headed for lows that'll be near 70. So the weather story today, quiet rest of the evening. Only thing you got is some sunshine to enjoy. It's a bit on the warm side. Scattered rain and rumbles are possible Wednesday. That's why we've got a weather aware day coming, especially first part of the day. It should be a nice end to the work week the way it shapes up right now, with mostly sunny skies, but some changes are on the way over the next few days. So check it out, 6 timeline tonight from 11 o'clock tonight through the early morning hours. Should cool it off and should say not expecting much of clouds at all. Matter of fact, it should be clear for Knoxville. It's 6 o'clock, 71 in Knoxville to start, and warm it up quickly past noon hour into the afternoon, with high temperatures tomorrow reaching into the upper 80s to near 90. Notice a few clouds over toward the mountains. There's a slight chance for one of those heat generated thunder showers, but most of you won't see much. That's the lunch hour tomorrow, and then into Tuesday night. A few more spotty showers tomorrow night about this time along the plateau mainly, and that's where the best opportunity is, about 20% chance. And then we'll go from Tuesday night into Wednesday, so Tuesday night, Wednesday morning would be the best opportunity for those showers to come through the area, so that's why it's a weather aware day for Wednesday morning. We could have an inconvenient morning commute Wednesday, but Tuesday looks fine. Temperature-wise, we're up near 90 tomorrow for not only here in the 2 valley locations, but should be in the mid to upper 80s along the plateau in southeast Kentucky as well. And we'll probably take those partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies all the way over to the Smoky Mountains as well, 86 Middlesboro tomorrow. Mountains forecast not too bad at the lower elevations, and very comfortable higher elevations. The mountain stream would be a really nice way to cool down right now. But can't get there that quick, so we'll just jump with a bag of ice and keep it nice all across the board. 91 to 82. 82 is Wednesday. That's our weather aware day. 82 Thursday, but look at the temperatures. Low 60s early Friday morning. Looks fantastic. Should be nice for Friday night hits. Highs in the mid-80s the rest of the work week. It turned out beautiful today. One fly Norman. We need some rain. We could see that toward the middle part of the work week.
I don't think you're getting any complaints from anybody. We see a little bit of rain right now.
No, sir.
Cool us down just a bit.
All right, Matt. Thank you
Matt.
so very much. You know, Matt, we talked a lot today about being able to see that sunset all around us. And I have to imagine one of the best places to see that would have been on Klingman's Dome if the weather was crystal clear.
And even NASA made the trip to Klingman's Dome. So much to be researched out of this eclipse. You know, our own Amanda Ketchledge was there as well and has more.
You can see these broad sweeping views to the west. What's magical about that, having the elevation, if we have that clear sky when totality comes, the shadow comes from the west.
Well, the clouds have moved out and we're in complete darkness at Klingman's Dome as visitors are taking in this solar eclipse, and it's quite an experience.
The experience is visceral. You feel it in your bones. You know, people are just overwhelmed with emotion.
It's an awe-inspiring moment that Matt Cass with Southwestern Community College from North Carolina has been ready for with his students.
We brought some telescopes so people could get some up-close images of the sun. Just show people that, you know, this is accessible. Let them get up close and personal to the experience before totality, after totality.
Broadcasting the eclipse live, NASA chose this as one of their prime locations to capture the 1,700 mile-per-hour shadow sweeping across the Great Smoky Mountains.
And the NASA 360 team is actually here on the mountain, so we're at the highest point of anybody covering it, and Klingman's Dome is one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. It's a great place for both scientists and for lay people to just experience the eclipse, figure out what the natural landscape's going to look like.
Stargazers like Mac McLean were also documenting the phenomenon.
I have a cable release, so I don't have to touch the camera to take the pictures, because some of the features during totality you have to use slow shutter speeds.
While the photo equipment slowly snapped away at the dark sky, the path of totality moved quickly, but many are just happy to have witnessed this spectacle.
Go back and look at the pictures anytime and see that I got it.
NASA and the National Park hope this experience will inspire people to continue their interest in science and in nature. At Klingman's Dome, Amanda Ketchledge, WATE, 6 on your side.
All right, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, quite the event, just not at Klingman's Dome, but all around the area today. Just amazing. A great opportunity to witness something that so few of us will ever get a chance to see again.
You know, and I have to admit, we've been out here all day long. I cannot wait to see and hear the reactions from people all across the country.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, go back home, and I'm going to do it all over again, probably 10 more times, watching the coverage from other areas.
Yeah, just see kind of their reaction and their vantage point, if you will. All right, right now we want to send things back to Knoxville, back to the studios. So, Lori and Ryan.
All right, thank you so much, you guys. Hey, let's talk a little sports. Marshall Hughes joins us now.
That's right. You know, you talk about reaction. Well, even Coach Butch Jones reacting to today's eclipse.
That's right. They were out of practice today. Team 121 at Neyland Stadium. So what did Jones have to say about the eclipse? We'll find out next. Tennessee football on the field at Neyland Stadium today. Butch Jones moving practice to this morning to make time for the solar eclipse. Now, the same can be said in Tuscaloosa, except Nick Saban wasn't interested. Saban making headlines last week when asked about his plans for today.
That's not something that I'm really that focused on right now. You know, I watch the Weather Channel every day. They're already saying what it's going to look like in every city in America, so what's going to be significant?
So I asked Jones about his plans for watching this morning.
I'll probably watch it on the news or something like that. I don't know if I trust those glasses yet, so I'll let you use the glasses and I'll get it through TV.
Okay, so Jones watching on TV, but was he at least interested in being along the path of totality?
I'm more excited about preparing this football team.
Okay, there you go. To each his own. I asked a few players if they would take a look as well. They said nope. They were planning on taking a nap. So the eclipse, not for everyone. Neither is a preseason top 25 ranking. If you like hearing about the early hype, though, the Vols ranked 25th in the AP poll. That's one spot behind where they are in the coaches poll at 24. the third straight season, a preseason ranking for Jones. Alabama at #1.
All right, they're the only ones not that excited.
No.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah, a lot of others excited as well.
Let's go back out to Sweetwater one last time.
That's right. That's where Bo Williams and Kristen Farley. Hey, guys, some final thoughts tonight.
Final thoughts, one of the most amazing days of my career. So glad we had this assignment.
We'll never forget that moment in totality when you could remove the glasses and look with your own eyes. Breathtaking.
And now we're ready for a shower, you guys. That's going to do it from Sweetwater. Good night, everyone.
Take care.